But now that we're 3 strong again, time for some trailers. Lanterns gave us another trailer on HBO Max, and I will say this: I wish people would just wait for the show instead of trying to analyze every freaking thing, because honestly, I think it deserves that. But if you haven't, I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Said we say as we're about to watch and analyze this trailer.
No, I'm not analyzing it. I'm just watching it because here's the thing. If you try to figure out, there's analyzing and then there's reviewing. All we're doing is reviewing it. We're not trying to speculate where they're going to be at, who they're going to be at. We just take guesses versus some people who just have to be the first ones to post it because they can.
Yeah.
That's what makes us different from everybody else. I'm just saying. But for all those that haven't seen it, here's the trailer.
This ring, it's the greatest weapon in the universe. When and if to use it, that's the whole ball game, Junior.
Did you just use that ring to counterfeit money?
No.
Tell me how you got it. The ring.
You know how I got it. I sure as hell didn't interview for it.
Oh, shit, maybe you should have. Power like that, shouldn't you have to work for it?
I've been doing this since you were a baby. The only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
I think he likes me. Everybody is lying to us.
You're not leaving here till we find out what they're hiding. Danger's part of the job. You need to be fearless.
How are you chosen for this?
It's only one question. Are you afraid? You afraid?
Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
I was raised fearless, and I'll do this better than he's ever done it before.
Then go and get it, Jon Stewart.
All right, so that was the second trailer for Lanterns. As you can see, guys, will be streaming on HBO Max August 16th. Again, I'm sold. There's nothing more I can really say to this except I'm sold. Every time I see Kyle Chandler, I just think of Friday Night Lights. He just not to say that Friday Night Lights wasn't a great show, but every time I see him in anything else, I'm like, am I getting Hal Jordan? Am I getting old boy from Friday Night Lights as a Green Lantern? Which either way would work, but no, it's one of those things. Like, I can't say anything more. The fact that I just want to see where they're going from, and the fact that you see Guy Gardner, which we already knew that because it's Lanterns, he's going to be somewhere. I got nothing more I can add to that. And you're right, Bama. Stop. Okay, let me say this about stop speculating. And I know you speculate at this point yourself. I'm just saying, whatever you think is going to happen, it's all right to have guesses. We guess a lot, especially here on this show. But some folks just nit. As our other esteemed podcast brethren would say, Reverend Navy. Some folks just nitpick. Like, for example, the fact that the green aura that's not around him, and it's just like, if your basis for this was the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds in it, please let that go. At the same, I mean, he said it better than I could, because a lot of people's like, well, he doesn't have the green aura around him. I'm like, please don't use that movie as a reference. You can use anything else, but please don't use that movie for a reference. At the same time, yeah, I completely forgot about Early Edition too, Bama. Early Edition, god dang. But yeah. Again, I'm not against it. I did see old boy have a little bit of Rebel Ridge, because I was like, for the way they showed him, like, their reference his old Netflix movie. But again, I'm not complaining. I'm looking forward to it. I got no guesses about where this is going to go. I just like the fact that it's for it to be an intergalactic space cop show. It seems very grounded. which again I dig. But again, that's just me. But fellas, what do y'all think?
May I?
Go for it.
Go ahead.
See those? Right there?
You're gonna have to be a little specific, sir.
Right there. All those
Joe,
books.
Joe, I
Oh,
think
the
you
books,
should have.
okay.
Joe, I think you should like turn your entire setup and make this your background. I did not know all this was there this entire time.
You see these? These are all Green Lantern books.
Yeah.
Guess what the first thing I'm going to ask is? Where the fuck is the green aura?
But why?
Because that's how they fly.
But he wasn't flying. He was grounded.
I'm sorry. I saw that man shoot up in the air without any aura. I saw that man land in front of a car without any aura.
But
And I'm not complaining because of the Ryan Reynolds thing. I'm complaining because I have 30 goddamn years of Green Lantern.
But
What
the
if
point is,
what if
but that,
did
sorry.
Guy Gardner have aura when he was flying
Yes.
around? Okay, what if it's like power-ups in Dragon Ball Z and we find out that everyone who does it is strictly doing it to be flashy? Like it is actually all the air movement and all the ground shaking is literally not necessary. It's just to show off.
So it's actually also like the Dragon Ball aura where all the wind friction and the bugs do not smash into their face because of the aura.
I still call it nitpicking. If that,
I call it I have 30 goddamn years of Green Lantern on these
and
shelves.
you can have the books, but
if they do show the aura and they're just like, why don't I have the thing? It's like, oh, Guy does that just because he's a dick and he likes to show both.
Oh no, then that's perfectly acceptable. But the other complaint I'll have, this is an intergalactic cop show. We better be on Earth for at least 2 episodes, and then we're off that planet.
Okay, that first trailer, I figured that looked like we saw a lot and nothing in that first trailer at the same time.
Right.
I feel like that was all the first 30 minutes of episode 1, Loki. Like the whole small town and local sheriff. I'm like, this is definitely.
I was gonna say that's only half my setup. My setup, my all the robots.
But I will say, I mean, for all we know, like I said, this is where I say it goes into spec. I mean, we could guess they're going to be on Earth for. We could guess they're going to be on Earth for a few episodes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't be mad if this was just the first season.
I would.
Because
I absolutely would.
I wouldn't be mad just because of how they're doing Hal and how they're doing John, because they're not. Because it looks at this point, it looks like Training Day with Green Lantern.
Unless we're in the city and black people are telling Hal Jordan, why are you not protecting us like you're protecting everybody else? And that's why Jon Stewart gets the ring. I don't care.
I'm very curious to see if this show leads us into paradise at all. And if we have any kind of interdimensional, like if they bring up the Phantom Zone at all for like prisoners who got to get locked away for whatever reason, or Lex's whole pocket dimension and being investigated by the Lantern Corps. And like, hey, you guys have also been opening up a lot of other portals to places. What's going on down here?
And I can see that too. That's actually a great way for it to cross over into that. But what are you saying, Tamara?
That's about it. I like based on what I saw. I'm like, okay, so we're definitely going to be like all over the place. But I'm also looking forward to seeing like old grumpy Hal Jordan, who's not trying to be usurped by Jon Stewart, the Boy Scout, who both are like, and Guy Gardner's also here. And we try not to call him if not need be.
Right. Now, Bama, colorism aside, this looks good. Look, this has been, I will say this has been discussed about Lanterns and the fact of old boy's name who escapes me at the moment.
Aaron Pierre, thank you.
I don't think it's that. I just think that a lot of people are saying the same thing, myself included, when I first Aaron Pierre. But then again, I didn't see Rebel Ridge. I did. Great movie on Netflix. I say this because number one, there were other people that in our minds could have been casted as Jon Stewart. Plenty. We'll agree with you. But at the same time, if you're an actor that got the role and you're trying to do all your hearts to it, and you just happen to be a few shades lighter than the Jon Stewart that we know, I cannot hold that against you if you're being fully committed, because that would for me to okay, I'll put it this way: for me to go after Aaron Pierre would be the same way that I'm going after Jared Leto for Joker, and his Joker was basically our view was because of director cuts. We didn't get to see half the stuff he did as Joker, so for the longest time, I will fully admit. I said Jared Leto's Joker was trash because of how he was portrayed in Suicide Squad. That wasn't his fault. I know, and I apologize for that. And I said that's David Ayer. It's his fault for how the movie was cut, and the fact that you had people coming out there saying, "Oh, well, they released the David Ayer cut." I said it still wouldn't matter. But I use that analogy because I don't think it's colorism. It shouldn't be colorism. Why? Because you're not going to get comic book accuracy when it comes to casting. You're not. Not to say that Aaron Pierre isn't a great actor. I think he'll do well as Jon Stewart. At the same time,
if we can find somebody that is literally Zangief for the Street Fighter movie, we can find anybody. Yay. However, I like the guy they got for Jon Stewart. He's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But my counterpoint to your statement is, if we can find Zangief in this world,
let's be honest.
We can find him.
Let's be honest. How much of a 1 in a million shot did you find a guy that be casted like that?
It doesn't matter. Just some unknown actor out there could be the perfect Jon Stewart, and we went with somebody with a name. This is nothing to do with him in general. I like him as Jon Stewart. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing, but let's be honest. Finding that guy to play Zangief in Street Fighter, that was I ain't gonna lie, that was a 1 in a million shot.
They did not find the guy. They just found Zangief.
Like I said, I'll call it a 1 in a million shot, but wonder will we see Kilowog? I think what Bam was saying.
If they bring back Dennis Haysbert for Kilowog, that would actually make me happy.
I wouldn't be against it.
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't know if we're going to really see Kilowog or not. I kind of hope we do, because again, this is outside of Creature Commandos, outside of My Adventure Superman, which again I'm currently catching up on through season 1 and season 2. Like I said, it's going to do well, at least I think. But we'll see come August 16th. But speaking of final trailers, we do got a couple of them. Masters of the Universe. If this was ever one that, you know what? Let me just play the trailer before I give opinions on this.
You know, the Dark put out the song today for Masters of the Universe.